morning and welcome. It's a Feel Good Friday here on Wake Up Nigeria. Waking up early, well, you know, meditating, exercising, also reading a good book are good habits to imbibe, actually, if I can say so myself. But for a Friday, it's okay to actually just toss all of that routine outside the window and do absolutely nothing. Well, save that for the weekend. Today, get ready for it.
Fridays for many people means, you know, getting to the finish line of work. But right here on the show, we drop all those concerns and we kind of just let out our fun side.
Exactly. Let your hair down like I've done. It's a Feel Good Friday. It's a family edition. It's Wake Up Nigeria, always a family edition. Good morning and welcome to the most fun edition, actually, of the week for Wake Up Nigeria.
It's super packed today. We have quite an interesting lineup of activities. And of course, we have the Mrs. Agbelishe in the building. Hey.
Hello, good morning, guys. How you guys doing? Let me know, I like your red pants.
So, I think it was Wednesday. It was Wednesday. I saw Titi's get up. I was like, I'm gonna do that. And so like, you know, I'm sure up looking like this today.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Call you Mazina now.
Oh.
Fashion styling from Titi.
Let it be known that she threw the first punch this morning. It's okay. No wahala.
Not to worry. We know how to take those punches, especially on Fridays. A special show prepared for you. Don't forget, it is game day.
It is indeed.
My name
it's gonna be fun.
is Titilayo Oniso.
Sorry about that. My name is Mazino Appeal. Stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. Sending your comments on social media at TVC Connect, and also you should use that hashtag at TVC Connect, okay?
The hashtag is actually Wake Up Nigeria on TVC, but I'm saying, you know, we are connected with the TVC Connect movement that was happening. I don't know, it was like rap. I had to let you finish.
Well, thank you very much for jumping in there and helping out. Give them the right information, why don't we? Also, by the way, on YouTube, you guys can see us live on there, rather catch the episodes on there. And also, you want to make sure that you're downloading our app.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm just getting close to the office here. And then there's this truck of laborers or something. Yeah, they're in the truck and they're driving. And then the guy tries to evade the keke napep. And then one of them, like, tries to hit the keke. Go out of there, I'm just directly behind. That small, you see the fight that burst.
Okay.
Like, brr, brr, I stood there for like 5 minutes, the road was blocked. And I was like, wow, just something so little, just one set, tiny this thing, and then poop. Just light it on fire, and people could have gotten you because people were reaching for sticks, stones, and all of that on the road. Just this morning.
I've had that experience before with especially keke guys, and I'm not talking about the motorcycle guys. I'm talking about keke guys. They're actually more united than the motorcycle guys.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very surprising. You don't mess with their vehicles. They actually have quite the violent sort.
But they're also really unruly on the roads. A lot of people have, you know, given complaints. My vehicle also had a run-in with a keke in July, and it was just one small second. And you know the way these things happen, you have to really find that inner peace to not come down and become.
Yeah. Be like Winfrey, who never ever is. Do you ever get angry or upset?
You know?
Yeah.
I don't think it's almost been a year now.
I think she has a...
I've seen
You've
it.
seen it.
Little.
Just a little.
Sad.
Just a little.
There's a reason,
Speaking about inner peace, I think, we all have a role to play as regards our reactions and all of that. I think Nigerians are not so emotionally intelligent.
Ooh, an entire race of people coming for you. She said it.
Seriously, emotional intelligence, really, no, to be honest, I don't think we pay close attention to it enough. And even from growing up as children. So I think it's something we need to pay more attention to.
Yeah,
Not every time you have to express it.
So, but you know the funny thing, I actually think we do, but the situation of the country, we need something to vent, to release, pent up, you know. It's not like they know that you should calm down, but what will I do with all of this now as this country? Let me just let it out.
Pour cold water on it. If there's no cold water, wait for the rain. And that brings us in for the weather.
It's time for the news update right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Now we begin in Britain, a nation in mourning after the death of the Queen, Queen Elizabeth II, at the age of 96. Buckingham Palace announced shortly after 6:30 p.m. yesterday that the monarch had died peacefully at her summer home, Balmoral, in Scotland. Her son and heir has ascended the throne and will be known as King Charles III. His wife, Camilla, is Queen Consort. The Union Jack is flying at half-mast, and a 10-day period of mourning has been announced. Royal palaces in London, Windsor and Balmoral have been seeing huge numbers of people laying flowers and expressing their sadness at the passing of a much-loved queen who was on the throne since 1952. Now, back to Nigeria. The wife of presidential candidate of the all-ruling All Progressives Congress, Senator Remi Tinubu, has met with the party's National Working Committee to fine-tune the campaign strategy for the women's wing of the party. She was accompanied by wife of the party's vice presidential candidate, Hajia Nana Shetima.
And you're welcome. It's time for the dailies this morning. Let's let you know the headlines that you're going to be finding. Some of them will be similar to, everyone you find on every front page this morning. Let's start with the Guardian newspaper for today, a Feel Good Friday, September 9th, 2022. And only just yesterday, the passing away of the Queen has resulted in plenty of headlines with her on it. The Queen dies, long live the King. Very, very, it doesn't sound as, it used to, but that's the reality of things now. Right under that headline there, PDP, IU survives as NEC passes confidence vote, Wike defiant. And at the top of the Guardian newspaper here this morning, ADC not for sale, says Kachiku tasks government on 20 million uneducated kids. Nigeria's oil production slumps to all-time low at 972,394 barrels per day, that on page 3. DSS raids Mamu's residence office in Kaduna, and UBA records double-digit growth, declare 0.20 kobo interim dividend. At the bottom of the Guardian this morning, BOT chairmanship, Walid steps out, Wabara steps in to placate South, and I'm not aware about Makinde's replacement of Tambuwal as PDP Governors Forum chair, says party spokesman. Oyo PDP happy with emergence of Makinde as chair of Party Governors Forum, and Wike vows to sustain fight until IU exits office, says BOT chairman's resignation a distraction. And Sharad, and finally, Atiku wants crisis resolved within party's constitution. You cannot destroy Rivers APC, is a tells Wike. Now let's move on now to our next daily for this morning, and that's the Punch newspaper. And right there, once again, it's the Queen. Queen Elizabeth's death at 96. World leaders pay tribute. Britain mourns. Charles becomes king. UK PM Buhari, Biden, Obama, Macron. Others hail Britain's longest reigning monarch. Indeed. Pause for effect on that one. Moving on now to the top of the Punch newspaper. Pegasus threatens 30-day shutdown. Nigeria risks 1.3 trillion naira loss. Sack non-performing service chiefs, the union tells Buhari, and PDP pacifies South with BOT chair. IU stays. That on page 25. At the bottom of the Punch newspaper to the side here, Nigeria's monkeypox death toll highest in Africa, say WHO. And, of course, a Lagos woman set ablaze for kidnapping, baby dies. And also, let's move on now to our next daily for this morning. That's the Nation newspaper. Inside of the Nation newspaper, big headline here, PDP crisis, IU not Jibrin should resign, says Wike, and PDP NEC passes vote of confidence in chairman. I resigned in party's interest, says BOT chair. Wabara replaces Jibrin. And Charles is King of England. World leaders mourn Queen Elizabeth II. At the very bottom of the page for the Nation newspaper, 7 injured in about a collapsed building, 7,000 donkey genitals intercepted. That's a very curious headline there because nobody understands exactly why this is so or what the use was for. And at the very top, real quick, DSS military items, cash, financial instruments found in Mamu's home and office. That's as much as we can take for this morning here. For the headlines, do grab a copy of the papers. Anyone, if you want to share a topic with us, do that. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. We'll do a short break now. When we get back, we have more discussions inside of the kitchen for What's Up and About. Welcome. Now it's time for What's Up and About, and long live the king. It's not something that we're used to saying, but it's going to have to be that way for while now, because after the passing of the Queen from only yesterday, which made headlines all over the papers, like you can see, as we're just coming off of, and of course, all the reactions from across the world presidents, monarchs, and everybody. Now, Queen Elizabeth passed at 96. That's a good ripe old age. 70 years on the throne. She has impacted a lot when it comes to the world. Not everybody is being positive about it. However, there are some negative comments, some people who feel a certain type of way about her rule, about her reign, and the influence she had on different continents, especially here in Africa, Nigeria. There are a couple that have been going about here and there. And Nigerians, I don't know what's wrong with you people.
Social media.
I don't know, but I guess when you live, when you live to a good ripe old age of 96, I guess you're celebrated after. So it's not a mourning thing; it's actually something that people. So you'd expect that social media is going to go crazy with all the memes and Nigerians wanting to be a part of her family. Ashwabi's coming out.
As in, the Ankara was actually cool.
A lot of people were posting all of that. It's crazy. It's always the thing we do.
You had very interesting.
So funny story. I was 6 years old. Our school went on a trip to Buckingham. Yes.
You saw them.
Yes.
Wow.
I did. And
you're lucky.
We were told to queue up as she walked by, and really weirdest, annoying kiddie voice said, "Hello, Your Majesty." She said, "Hello." And then, yeah, I got to speak to her once.
That's nice.
My issue really is the effect it actually had across the world when it was a God Save the King thing and not a God Save the Queen thing anymore. So it's the end of an era, the second Elizabethan era. You know, I used to do the history segment. So this is actually a mark in history that will be remembered for generations to come. So it's really significant.
How many prime ministers?
15
prime ministers.
I think for me, it's I think I mean, I've always like looked at her background, right, and seen the kind of tried to just understand the kind of queen. I mean, there was a whole lot of controversy through her reign and all of that. But then again, it was something we cannot take away from her. In spite and despite what people personally think about her, her reign and all of that, she was a solid queen. She was the backbone of the system there. She did a lot to actually ground that family. A lot of scandals they actually went through during her reign. I strongly believe if any other person was in that position, they wouldn't have probably either survived it or like it wouldn't have been so there wouldn't have been so much smooth sailing. I mean, her even becoming the queen was actually was kind of something that happened kind of spontaneously.
Yeah.
She was third in line. But then again, her uncle literally defected at a point because he wanted to actually marry a divorcee. I know in the
you can't have
you
that.
can't do that and all of that. Her dad also died at a very tender age and all of that. And it kind of actually brought her out. And it's funny because she actually had a very carefree childhood with her sister Margaret.
Youth.
And there was a statement actually also came out about how when she told her sister now that, she's actually next in line, like her sister was literally like, I'm sorry about that. She was actually sympathetic.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I mean, the responsibility is absolutely like different. And there were different clips about her, about both of them dancing in public, disguising, so people don't actually know
it's them.
You see that in movies, and you don't think that it's actually. I mean, they need that freedom and all. But not everybody's absolutely positive. I think there was a comment by Uju Wamba, I think, Uju Anya, she's getting all sorts of flack for that one, and there are also other comments regarding the colonialism surrounding her rule. Her reign, rather.
So I feel like she inherited that, first of all, and she had most of her reign to actually give independence to a lot of nations. That's how I see it. You can't go into the monarchy or get on the throne and just expect to upset the system. Yes, she was following what her family from years and centuries before had been doing. They had gone around conquering. And suddenly...
Some would say pilfering.
More than pilfering. There's some jewelry that's worth millions.
The British Museum is filled with all stolen artifacts and stuff.
Exactly.
There was that meme of her resurrecting after they tell her that...
Mike is wagging his head.
Because you see, it so happens that a lot of people are trying and doing all their best, including Jeff Bezos, who I will say good things about because of what he did to put... what he did to put Rings of Power together. I mean, dude really put in a lot. But then he went after Ujuaya, so people are on different sides of the divide. And I say that, look, you cannot discredit what some people feel about it, and you know,
No, of course.
and that is why to a number of people. But that's not what's happening on Twitter,
Yeah.
and it has now become an issue of black against white.
Yeah.
And that is what is happening
That was
on Twitter.
bounced, actually.
It was
going to
gonna
stir up.
You know, and so it's been back and forth. And I would just say that a number of people, what they feel, she said half of her family was displaced. And that is our own family. And like you said, it was more than, I mean, we're still talking about returning our own artifacts. They're still there.
Yeah.
We still see, and not just, you know, so people would, are entitled to feel what they feel and vent their own without somebody else trying to make it seem as though.
I would like to say that the responsibility placed on her being the bridge between two eras.
Yes.
I mean, she straddled that era of, I mean, 70 years, being in reigning for 70 years. That colonial, let me use that in quote, era, and this modern time that we find ourselves. So imagine that responsibility, what to do regarding these preferences or people's sentiments and all of that.
Yeah.
Did she manage it well, however, do you think?
I feel as
Could
best
there have
as
been
best
more
she
done?
could.
Yes.
The truth is, she did eventually give, you know, India their independence, Guyana, all the islands, all the West Indian
Could it
islands.
have been helped? I mean, they had
She
to
didn't
have.
give anybody. Australia now, as it stands now, there's a fight between them. Look, the point is that there is the Commonwealth. It will still remain. It is within the tradition will tell them to keep it as long as possible. And that's why you ensure that there are games. You get people to put
Events,
together.
activities.
If you understand about the issue with Australia and all of that, and the fight that's going to happen, they'll probably secede after this particular point in time.
Do you think that that's going to happen? Do you
It will
think that-
happen. It will happen.
What other
because
impacts might this have?
It
now
will
that she's
happen.
gone?
You're talking about impacts. You're talking about what kind of person is the new king.
Yeah,
He will as much as possible will not. We've seen things that because she has been there for a very long time, a lot of people accede to her due to the fact that she has been there.
Yeah, sure.
You know, but he is just coming in where a lot of you have seen, and so there's a lot of people would say, look, we want to keep our own. We don't want to be a part of the Commonwealth again, and it will happen.
Of course.
A lot more countries will secede from the Commonwealth.
Of course.
As
That's another political way to look at it.
Yeah, exactly. But there's still so much to talk about with regards the royal family and how the succession continues from here. But at this point, we have to wrap it up. We'll be back after this. And we're in the kitchen once again. Chef C has come to join us. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. So I can see all the Nigerian colors on your chef whites. I know that we have a nice Nigerian dish coming our way. What are we making today?
Yeah, I'm trying to infuse the Italian porridge yam. That's the Italian. The difference is just the cuttings.
The cuttings.
Yeah, the shapes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
The kind of Italian shapes on the porridge. But it's going to be more of tradition, that's native wear, but infused in the international way.
Fantastic. So we have a list of ingredients here for you. You might have some of these ingredients at home. You might have them in the fridge, in the cupboard, and you're wondering, what am I going to do with all these ingredients? Maybe what Chef C is making today might inspire you. Let's look at what we have here. Let's start from here.
Yeah, we have dry fish, crayfish, and chicken.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
Stir fry your chicken and tomatoes and fresh pepper, jumbo, and of course some seasoning.
Okay.
Some.
What sort of seasoning? Is it a garlic sort of seasoning? Or what's
No, it's a traditional seasoning, like ephraim mixed together with some uyayak.
Okay, so I'm going to act like I know what those things are. But when it's time to use them, I'll definitely be asking you to explain. So now we have our chopping board here, and I know we'll need a knife. Let's see. So what are we doing with the yam especially now?
Yeah, we're going to cut the yam into shapes.
Okay, shape.
Yeah.
Let me put some water inside this pot
Yeah,
so you
sure.
can cut the yam straight in there. Now, when it comes to yam, people have different ways of cutting it. Many different ways of cutting it. Yeah. So when I was growing up, my dad always used to tell me, you know what, as you're cutting the yam, put it directly in the water quickly so that it doesn't change color. Do you ever do that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Fantastic. This yam cutting thing, though, my mom was always afraid to let me do it because she always felt I might put one of my fingers into the pot.
It's really, yeah, that's why it's mainly for professionals.
Can I talk about this chicken in front of us?
Sure.
Yeah. What has happened with this chicken so far?
Yeah, I think I just put it on the water, just a very little water, steam it for a bit, then just season it, put a little bit of groundnut oil, and just fry it, and ready for the food.
It looks close to rare here. It doesn't look fully cooked. It's deliberate, yes?
Yeah, it just fry.
Okay, all right. So some stir-fried chicken. This is two parts of the chicken here, lap and...
Yeah, lap and wings. Chicken wings, yeah.
Okay. So are you planning to add this into the porridge or serve it separately?
No, I'm going to just do a sauce attached to it. It's just a side to the porridge.
Okay, beautiful. So porridge these days has become something you see at parties. When I was growing up, you wouldn't really see porridge at parties. You would just see the basic jollof rice, you know. Maybe you'd see pounded yam, but these days you have all sorts of dishes coming out at parties. Porridge, for instance, with sauce, or rather with stew, and then you have things like amala.
Yeah, I think we're going more of tradition to really introduce our own kind of food to the public, not really the Igbo kind of. And so that's why HFC is known to infuse food, like trying to bring in the foreign pattern, their kind of tradition to our own here. But basically, what I'm really using is our own traditional and native food. Spices, yeah.
Now, Chef C, I have ultimate faith that we are going to be creating something special today. Thank you so much for joining us in the kitchen this morning. At this point, it's time for us to talk movies. Now, the next trailer coming your way, taking a journey from Middle Earth to the middle of the kitchen and the middle of making our meal for today with Chef C. Chef C, I can see you've not even wasted time at all. You're just going straight into this meal. Today we're making porridge, right?
Yeah.
But with an Italian twist. But what do you call this dish?
Yeah, it's the porridge. I call it porridge.
Just porridge?
Yam, yeah.
Yeah.
Porridge yam, but in Italian style.
Okay, Italian style porridge. Okay, so if you have some chicken, some dried fish, crayfish, onions, pepper, ginger, and of course yam, you could probably make this at home as well. So initially when we were here, we cut the yam into very small slices. I have to say that looks good, very nice and white. So this oil you're pouring into the frying pan now, is it palm oil?
Yeah, it's a mix of palm oil and vegetable oil.
Okay. Okay. So what are we using that for now?
No, we're going to put our onions there.
Okay, great. Onions straight in the pan. There's only one ingredient I haven't actually seen, and I'm thinking maybe it's in your spice. Is there a reason I don't see any garlic? You don't want to use garlic?
No, I'm not using garlic immediately.
Okay, I'm a big fan of garlic. This is just my own personal taste palette. So, onions straight into the hot oil.
Yeah.
Would you like to reduce the heat? Or
No, not really.
fine?
So after that, just your tomatoes.
All right. Ooh, fabulous. That's the sound. That's what we want to hear. So the tomatoes are going in first.
Yeah.
Then some of the chili pepper. Nice. Some more tomatoes.
So all of them, more tomatoes are going.
All right. Fantastic. So you also cut them very chunky, I have to say.
Yeah, because by the time you put it inside the hot water, it would have dissolved. I don't want it to be invisible. I want it to be visible for people to see and bite it.
Okay. You want us to chew the vegetables?
Yep.
Let's talk a bit about the fish. What has happened to the fish since we were away?
Yeah, you have to wash your fish with hot water because it's a dry fish.
Okay.
So we're just going to put it in for just flavor. I just need that native flavor.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I'm using dry fish. Understand? To just give the twist of that native thing.
All right, I'm a big fan of dry fish. That's the truth. I've always admired you know, those more ethnic flavors in my food.
Okay.
But did you debone it? Did you remove the bones?
The bone from the fish?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Not really, because all the bones are soft already.
Okay.
They are very soft and tender to bite.
Fantastic. All right. Now, I can't wait to see how this is going to turn out. The yam was cut into small pieces because you wanted to soften quicker, yes?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, fantastic. Chef C, I know you have us covered. Thank you so much.
you.
At this point, we have to... Yeah.
And yes, indeed, you guys are welcome to the second hour of Great Breakfast Television. Trying to be Jordan.
Please don't.
I mean-
Let's watch the show without thinking of Mazido. That's what I did there.
If you can't do that, I mean, I'm part of the show. Half of it. Anyhow, I mean, hey, what's a Friday without Wake Up Nigeria? What's a Friday without these faces on your TV set every single time you turn it on to start your weekend, to bring it in just the right kind of vibe?
A Friday without Wake Up Nigeria is a dull one, I have to say, and that's why we look forward to our Friday editions, because all the fun activities we have put together. And we don't mind sharing these fun moments with you.
We do it just for you, actually. We do hope to, you know, set the pace for your weekend and view. Okay, talking about a view now, I like that view from the kitchen. You know, I mean, hey, Winfred, tell us about that view.
I mean, there's so much happening here. I mean, like, I'm actually taken aback at the, I don't know, the complication of making this yam porridge. Like, there's so much happening. Chef C is hard at work, and I'm totally looking forward to seeing what this is going to come out like. It looks very interesting, I must say. Very, very interesting. Yeah.
So, porridge is
Yeah,
what we make
she got me all wrong there. That was not the view I was talking about. But we all already know my name. It's Mazina Appeal.
And I'm Titilayo Onison. Stream the show live on tvcentertainment.tv or on Facebook at TVC Connect. Send in all those comments for social media using our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TV.
And when you download the TVC app, you can do that on both Android and iOS. You get unrestricted access to our premium shows anywhere you might be in the world. And on YouTube as well, you can also find us there, tvcentertainment.tv, where you can catch up with all the old shows and segments and everything from all through the week and even before.
It's game day.
Very interesting segue there, because his track is called Bese and our game is also called One Leg Up. Now, we have two games actually planned out for today, depending on which we're going to start one before the other one. But yeah, it's called One Leg Up, which is actually Bese.
Yeah, well...
Bese is carry leg.
Does better mean one leg up?
well,
Carry leg
lift.
up. One leg is you're carrying one leg up, innit? Bese. Yeah.
We get the connection. We get...
But it's not totally.
I'm being told from our L's inside of the studio that I should show you guys. I can't dance to save my life. I have zero connection between my mind and body when it comes to movement. I'm not a Mike Mexicana. I don't win competitions.
Yeah.
You know, dance competitions.
When you're wearing this kind of shoe with the multicolor, are you trying to pass a milk? Take it up. Take it up.
You know what I noticed recently?
What?
Right? It's not even recently. When you exercise.
I try. I've got a treadmill at home. You see. What?
Totally don't.
I do.
When you actually exercise, it actually helps your ability to dance. It helps your ability to coordinate.
I walk every
Mike
day.
is a gym rat.
Guy, take this leg up.
So
Just take
as
this
you
leg
can
up.
see, it's
What do you
called...
say about my
Take the
shoes?
leg up.
You have a rhythm.
It's just the color. I'm just looking at.
Listen.
It looks like a dancing shoe.
No rainbow jokes. No rainbow
It looks
jokes.
like a dancing shoe.
Wait, but you are the one wearing it.
It goes with a, you know, you can wear it on anything. Red, yellow, green, blue, purple. Yeah,
No, I
so
mean, I love the fact that Mazina is embracing more colors these days.
you guys are talking about the alphabets. Don't talk about the alphabets. I own rulers at home.
The ones that start with K. Oh, no, not K. Sorry, L. No. Okay.
But I have
What's
to say, when it comes to the game, Mazina always has us covered. He always has us, you know, doing physical activity, which is something we can say you should try as well.
Yes,
We want to see you guys play these games at home. Send us videos.
Use hashtags.
Yeah.
Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. We'll see all of them. We'll talk about
Mazina
it.
Rainbow too.
Yeah.
Whatever. Mike.
Yeah.
National Literacy Day yesterday. We weren't here to talk. I wasn't here to talk about it.
Yeah, UNESCO and National, of course, a World Literacy Day and all of that, and that's talking about you know, the ability to communicate with people and all of that. The importance language plays. You know how it is, how everything could be against you, but just speak someone else's language. Let the person understand you in the way that they do. And look, it could be the difference between life and death.
Yeah, very true.
It's that big, you know. So the ability to communicate and all of that.
It's especially with the Nigerian police. You know, they're always in groups. And if you get stopped on the highway, which has happened to me many times, this one time got stopped, very remote place, bush and everything. And then I will say I was getting harassed, honestly. I'll just tell I was getting harassed. But there was one guy whom I saw his name and it was Umukuru.
Yeah.
And like, Ose, Mavo, like,
you just started
boom, like, hey, come and take a paper, come on, be going. Leave him, make it there go, they go far.
Very sentimental people as well.
It's all about communicating.
It's
and,
world.
Yeah, it is.
One thing we try to communicate with
is
you on what's happening with the weather. So,
Of course, yeah, it's weather. It's weather.
Yeah.
It feels done.
Hello and good morning. It's time for the news for this hour. So we're starting with Britain, a nation in mourning after the death of Queen Elizabeth II at the age of 96. Buckingham Palace announced shortly after 6:30 p.m. yesterday that the monarch had died peacefully at her summer home Balmoral in Scotland. Her son and heir has ascended the throne and will be known as King Charles III. His wife, Camilla, is now Queen Consort. The Union Jack is flying at half-mast and a 10-day period of mourning has been announced. Royal palaces in London, Windsor and Balmoral have seen huge numbers of people laying flowers and expressing their sadness at the passing of the much-loved Queen, who was on the throne since 1952. Now, let's talk politics. Wife of the presidential candidate of the all-ruling All Progressives Congress, Senator Remi Tinubu, has met with the party's National Working Committee to fine-tune the campaign strategy for the women's wing of the party. She was accompanied by wife of the party's vice presidential candidate, Hajia Nana Shettima. She's here.
She's here indeed. Finally, we're joined for a very interesting conversation, and also, perhaps maybe we'll get to do other things here. Talented Nazo Ekazie,
Yes.
Nollywood actor, producer, and also we can't wait to,
What?
sit back and have those very interesting bits about your profession and how far you've come. Welcome, Nazo.
Thank you.
Nazo, where's that from? What's that?
Thank you so
Nazo.
It's a short form of Chinazo. Chinazo is my full name.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, all
So
nice.
So we see you on screen now, but it must have taken quite a bit of a journey to get you to where you are.
oh yes, oh yes.
So tell us, just let us into that journey.
I don't know. All I can say is I think I've quit Nollywood like up to 12 times.
Wow.
What?
That's the ones I counted.
And then you come back.
When I come back, I just keep going back and forth,
Why,
back and forth. But between 2011 and now, I've been very steady and, just pushing it, basically.
What are the challenges that you faced inside of Nollywood has made you quit 12 times?
I guess my background, I come from a very Christian
Conservative.
very conservative background. Not like anything is wrong with Nollywood though. It's just, it was new to me. I came in as like literally a child. I was still like in university when I started dabbling into Nollywood. So many things were like kind of new to me.
Okay.
And I just had to learn and, keep growing and just basically.
Fantastic. But the thing is, when you go out of Nollywood, you have to be going into something else. So what was it that was taking your attention back and forth?
Oh, I'm an Anambra woman. It's always been business.
No.
Business.
Yes, it's always been, either I'm doing real estate or I'm selling something I don't even know what it means, but I just have to sell it and make some money. And, so I've always, like, I've been like the, some sort of breadwinner since I was like 17.
Wow.
So it's always made me just do a lot of business, do a lot of things. And sometimes when the industry just gets too tough, I'll be like, you know what, let me just go make some money, then I'll be back later. Something like that.
So it's really encouraging to see, women like you, go through that process.
Yeah.
Especially having family members rely on you for things. They will call you for this, call you for that.
You can relate, of course.
Yeah, well, hey. Yeah.
Crazy.
But along the line, there is that pressure of wanting to represent and do your best. How have you been able to manage that pressure?
Well, I think I've always known myself. I've always been very conscious of who Nazo is, and I've always tried very hard not to lose it. So when I find myself in some kind of environment, because there are different kinds of environments in Nollywood. Everybody's not the same. All the stories out there are not true. There are people who still see talents. There are people who still invest in talent in Nollywood. Of course, there are some bad ones, but trust me, the good ones are there. And what helped me through it is, or what is helping me through it is the fact that I just have refused to lose who Nazo is. I hold on to it so bad.
I got that right now. Nazo, not Nazo. Nazo.
Nazo, yes. Chinazo, yeah.
So there's one thing about Nollywood. People, how lucrative is Nollywood for an individual actor? Is it lucrative? Can you say that I get a steady 1 million a month every single time? Or is it like far in between? I'm asking because of another question, but first that question, how lucrative is Nollywood?
Nollywood is very lucrative for a normal Nigerian.
Okay.
And it also depends on how you say it. But the best way to approach it is to see yourself as a brand.
Okay.
Because, like, if you build your face, you can do a lot with it. You can influence, you can sell, you can market.
It can be a platform for every other thing.
It can be a platform for a lot of other things. But I can't tell you that Nollywood will pay you 1 million naira weekly or 1 million naira. It can pay your bills. Okay. But then you have to, you know, expand and do other things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now on to the next question where I was leading to. Now, we see cases of Nollywood actors who are shooting one movie here today, and then in 3 days they're in Enugu, and then in 2 days they're in Port Harcourt, then go to Calabar. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot that goes into trying to be on set, these 3 different locations. Sometimes you have to come back. Doesn't it affect the talent or the characters that you're shooting inside of these different movies?
The performance.
Crossing into each other, because I would imagine, I don't know, I'm not that talented, so if I'm doing one movie, it has to be that one movie. I cannot be Chidubim here and then be General Samanja in the other one. It's just going to like all black.
I think that's because you're comparing Nollywood to Hollywood. And I keep telling people, we are not Hollywood.
Wow.
If Nigeria is still the way it is, leave us alone.
Wow.
Okay? Don't let us be Hollywood. We can't build a character in 6 months. Nobody has time for that. This is Nigeria. You have to do everything fast. You, as an actor, you have to switch as fast as possible. And that's where good directors also come in. Yeah. Because sometimes you carry on the other character into the next movie. Yeah, exactly. And the director will have to stop you, like, no, that's not what you're supposed to do. Wow. So if you're an actor who can be easily directed, because I love being directed, I like to go on set and see good directors because I'm carrying a lot of stress from different sets and so I want you to direct me. So if there's a good director, that can work. But having 3 months so you can switch into the next character, no.
Doesn't happen.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
You have to move as. In fact, you have to play Nkechi today, and the next day you are playing Choma, and you have forgotten totally about Nkechi, and that's what you're supposed to do as an actor.
And I actually think that's one of the things that the Hollywood actors respect about Nollywood.
I say it all the time. Hollywood actors cannot act in Nollywood. Nollywood actors can act in Hollywood. I mean, they have so many privileges. They have people who help them cry. People who put them in the mood,
and then bring them
so they can be emotional.
Nollywood, massage their feet.
On action, you are crying.
I got one for you. So, coming from a conservative background, which you just stated yourself, and with the way Nollywood is actually growing, and with the extent we're going, the envelopes we're pushing, would you do a nude scene? And how much should you be able to do it? Would you take for a nude scene?
How much?
Are you asking?
Personally, I'm asking personally. But,
so maybe they offered him the role and he's trying to find out. His research.
This body is ready.
That's
all I'm going to say.
Okay, so the thing is, when I was way younger, when I just started the industry, I would never have done it. But now I understand filmmaking very well, like I produced too. So I understand that it's just filmmaking.
It's an art.
And I've let go of any kind of guilt that comes with what I do in a movie. Okay. Because if you can't get to know Nazo for Nazo, that's your fault. Oh. And if you judge me for a particular character, it's on you. So, but basically, my main reason... Yes, I would. Yes. Did I say no?
No, you haven't answered.
Yes. I said yes. Yes. But there are conditions. Okay. The story would totally have to be worth it. Because I remember watching The Prostitutes by Omotola. And, like, I can barely remember the nude scenes because
they were part of the story.
Lesson of the story and how strong the story was. So when you just come to a movie and just remove your clothes, I'll be like, what? I won't do that. But if you give me a story that the nudity will is very important in the story, of course. Wow. And of course, if you pay very well.
Yeah,
goes without saying.
So that's the thing. So whoever was asking you to do the nude scene, you can go ahead.
They weren't paying enough.
They weren't paying
Yeah,
enough.
exactly. Collect your money.
You said you produced 2 movies. What movies are those? And you also have one coming up very soon now, don't you?
Yeah, it's still on the work, so I'm not allowed to say the title or anything. But like I have like a full YouTube channel that I run by myself, which is a lot of work, and I produced more than 2 movies. So.
Oh wow! I'm so sorry.
Yes.
That producer hat.
Yes.
It feels very heavy sometimes.
Oh, it's a lot of work.
But were you producing and acting in the same movie?
Yes, it's a lot of work.
How?
I don't know. I don't know, my dear. I just wake up and be like, God, let's go again. So it's a lot. It's heavy.
Yes, sir. We're in the kitchen.
Yes, indeed we are.
Yes.
It's been an amazing week so far.
Saw that chicken coming in and I was like,
or rather, Chef C. I'm sorry. My alphabet letters. I'm sorry. What? No, I'm not thinking of anything else.
Okay.
What is that?
He has been hard at work and has actually put together this amazing yam porridge for you to try out and tell us exactly what you think. Can you do that for us? Amazing.
do this.
Can we go? Yes,
Yes.
we can.
Do you have more? Do you have more?
We haven't started yet.
Please have a taste.
Oh, it looks so
Yeah, let us
good.
know.
So good.
I mean, I listened in on your interview and I think it was very brilliant. I like how down to earth.
Oh, thank you.
I like how down to earth you actually are, and I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense what was said.
Lovely, isn't it?
What do you think? She's still eating. She's still eating.
And the eyes are closing and everything.
So good.
So,
It's
yeah.
so good. It's really good. The pepper, oh my God.
Well done, Chef C. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to say thank you to everybody who's been on the show, not just today, but all through the week. It has been a very, very fantastic one. We have come to the end of it. But hey, don't worry, you can still watch all of our editions from tomorrow or even from now on our YouTube. You know where to go to find that one, our YouTube page at TVC Connect. You'll find all the editions there. Thank you very much, Nazo, for coming.
Yes,
Loved your appearance here. And catch you guys next week. Have a great weekend, all.
Bye.